Hey, welcome to the what?
Let's get into the next part of the show, man. We didn't really talk about yesterday's fights as much because I don't feel like it was as important as we would like it to be. So that's why we didn't focus on it. But there was one thing that came out of this last night's fights that continuously comes up every now and then when we watch the MMA fights, and that is judge it fair.
Judging.
Please. Judge it fair, man.
Judging.
Shine, get into what happened to last night, man, because this judge right here, some people are calling for his job. What happened?
I don't know. I feel like Sal D'Amato doesn't score fights too bad though. Like I guess you would have to go like look at it, but I've always had this rhetoric of like, pay attention to these terrible scorecards because we only remember it when it is a robbery. We only remember it when it is like just outrageously egregious of a decision to where we're like, there's no way. I.e., Johnny Hendricks beat George St. Pierre. You go back and watch that fight. They're like St. Pierre. We're like, huh? Weird. Or the Nick Diaz Carlos Condit fight where Nick was pressuring the whole time. Those types of fights, we remember that stuff. Like, man, that was controversial of a decision. Or poor Angie. Ooh, Angela Hill be on the wrong side of a bunch of split decisions.
That's like 2 or 3 in a row.
we remember those. We say that all the time. But think about this: Sean Strickland fights the international dancing Jack Hermanson, and he gets the W. So, right guy won. But still, we got to deal with this, though. You've got a card turned in that's what, 48-47 for Jack Hermanson. And if you actually look at it, bro, he didn't win. He didn't win the fight. He didn't even think he won the fight. He was probably surprised that it was a split decision just as much as we was. And you got like, listen, 49-46 from one judge for Sean Strickland, right? 49-46 for another judge for Sean Strickland, right? And then you got 48-47 for the other dude. Bro, that's a 3-round swing.
Yes.
That's what are you watching?
Man, he had his phone up looking at the fight on his phone, so I guess he had a delay and he was taking the drink.
He look, he was looking at it. And this what happened. He looked up, hey man, can I get another one of them? You know the little thing with the shit. Okay, now you got a punch. Okay. You know, with the little thing. The little drink, the little fruity one. Bring that ding. Damn, I done missed the whole first round. Let's see, which one I'm breathing hard. He won that one. But I don't feel like he puts in that many bad cards though. And somebody said one time, like, for accountability, maybe it ought to be the fact that if someone puts in a scorecard like this, they should have to defend it, you know?
On the spot.
Just on the spot. Just defend
it. They should bring all 3 judges in the ring, especially a main event fight.
And let them tell what their scorecard is?
Yes. They should tell them
give
what
them the mic. I thought he had it there in round 3, but I actually gave it 48-47 for Jack Hermanson. Everybody's booing, throwing shit at him. He's like, well, calm down, guys. And then the other two read their scores. He's just standing there like, shit. For real? Y'all thought it was... But it was that one time he punched him. It was like, it whiffed by. Y'all didn't see it? Man, that would be cool. Or 2 other ways to fix it. A press conference where we can ask these judges questions, or open scoring.
I like the open scoring, but I do like that press conference at the end because I think that would weed out a lot of judges who are controversial.
The only thing is it's the commission that is doing that, puts the judges on. So it's therefore, if it was the UFC, they can require you go to a press conference, but the UFC isn't paying them. So we may not be able to get that to be pulled off. But we can't have open scoring.
If we can't get that pull on open scoring, would be great though, because then the fighters will know exactly where they are in the car on the after each round too. So
except for there'll be a lot of coaches.
Even if they don't know, the coaches will know.
Yeah. Even if they did it like hell, I got one. You put in the round 1 fighters fight, ding, rounds over, 1 minute. Hey, you got to go out there and stick with your left, run with your right, get in there, champ. Ding, round 2 starts 10 seconds later, then the score's released. Fighters are already fighting, right?
So you
then they turn it. Yeah. Then they turn into scorecard. If you hear them, you hear them. If they scream it out, they scream it out. But you know, that'd be no different than somebody watching it on TV and shooting the coach a text message saying, they did live score and they've got them losing or something. You know?
Yeah.
10 seconds later, they show it up on the big screen, and then we can see it. And then you go past that, you get rounds 3 and 4. You know, and 4 and 5 shouldn't happen anyway. But you get round 2, round 3, and they go, hey, buddy, the last 2 rounds that were judged, we're down. We got to get moving. You know? And I don't necessarily think the only rebuttal that I see is like guys are going to be up big in the 5th round and they're going to coast. That's the only argument that people put forward past like maybe we shouldn't do open scoring is the fact that when these guys get up, say I'm up 2 rounds to nothing and I'm clearly winning, I'm just gonna coast in the 3rd. That ain't too hard to do in the first place, because if you up 2 rounds, you're gonna coast anyway. Now if you're up 2 rounds in a super duper close fight, and you know you're still up 2 rounds, and the other guy has to finish you for it's still no. Because, I mean, you have to fight to defend yourself. What are you going to do, run the whole time?
Dana
get caught. Dana was going to cut Anderson Silva for that one fight where he didn't do nothing with Damian Maia. Didn't even want to put the belt on him. They not going to play that. And I believe the crowd will hold you accountable. Like, we did all this to get open scoring, and you going to coast in the 3rd? No. Some other kind of bonus.
You play to win, though. They say you play to win. That's all I'm saying. They say you play to win.
But that's no different than having a very, very strong wrestling pedigree. And Sean Strickland said it last night the same way. He's like, man, that's my bad, y'all. I let the win bonus get the best of me. That's what the problem is. Though it's the show and win. It's more of a problem where fighters might play it safe than it would be with an open score. And I almost believe that. Imagine this. Imagine getting paid $80,000 for the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you get paid $80,000 for the fight. You going into the 3rd round. You're up 2 rounds, but you got to make a statement or whatever you got to do. You go out there and fight. Okay, cool. Imagine getting paid $80,000 for a fight, and you only got $40,000 of it guaranteed. Now people gonna start making weird decisions.
Because if you got the fight in hand and you're in the 4th or 5th round, you're gonna coast it.
Yeah,
I got this fight.
Losing then cost you $40,000.
Yep.
That's what the problem. That's what you run into. You know, like your issue of all of this. Losing in the 3rd in open scoring with a show and win bonus costs you money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in boxing, you know what you're gonna get paid when you go out there. You know, maybe we switch over to that model, switch over to open scoring. Maybe we see some barn burners. I don't know. What do you think?
You might see some better fights though. Seriously, when you put it like that, individuals up 2 rounds, up 3 rounds. I know I got the fight in the bag. I'm not finna put 100% of trying to knock this dude out, trying to put this dude in submission, because the simple fact is that this other guy is a trained fighter as well. And what if he catches me? What if he gets me in some kind of submission that I have to tap and I lose that money? So I feel like what you're saying with the show and win is not a good model, especially if we're trying to go towards a more open forum when it comes to judging. I feel like if they do go to a more open forum because of judging, they need to scratch that show and win, and you just need to, hey, you show up, you get paid this, and you're gonna know exactly what's gonna go on in the first, second, and third round. But you already know you're gonna win this amount of money, so you're fighting for a bonus. So it's one of those things where we get to the second round, you up 2, you can still make more money if you knock this dude out.
Look, guaranteed money, and we already seen it on Twitter. Everybody talking about, oh, they got the locker room bonuses. Yeah, okay, they still doing locker room bonuses. Imagine you go out there and coast it in the third round, and they be like, hey, Dana, can I get that little bonus? Boy, if you don't get your ass out my face, that's what's gonna happen. So I feel like the crowd, the people, everything is gonna have that accountable for that third round. That's the only other argument I can see to open scoring. I don't know any other downside of open scoring. I don't know. If you can think of it, let me know.
We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
What else you got?